This GTA 6 leaker by the name of Gameroll leaked the last name of Jason and Lucia about 3 weeks before it was actually officially revealed in trailer 2 and the website. And a couple of hours ago he issued some new leaks and reveals about GTA 6. So if you don't want to know anything more than the trailers and what we've known from Rockstar, that's the spoiler alert for you. So let's get right into this. Starting with the character switching. So Gameroll says there's 3 options. So you have Jason by himself, then Lucia by herself, and you have Jason and Lucia together, which is the 3rd option. So basically they're companions, 2 at the same time that you can switch between. Now of course this is something we already knew or kind of guessed that this was going to be the case. This does confirm that there probably is not going to be a 3rd protagonist, even though a lot of people think that that still is the case, but we'll just have to wait and see until the game releases. But another very big detail is that the game will feature 5 story chapters, and Gameroll alluded that he even knows spoilers about the whole story, but he did claim that there are 5 chapters in Grand Theft Auto 6, just like how Red Dead Redemption 2 was divided in different chapters, which gives us room to speculate about the length of the game, since that's a very popular topic that people want to know about. And honestly, I don't really care how long the game is. It's going to be long enough as long as the missions are fun and everything is good in terms of the storytelling and the writing. That's what I'm more excited about rather than just the length, because there's a million side missions you can probably do, and for me that counts along with how long the story is. But yeah, if you're a speedrunner, you'll probably want to know how much it is. Well, it's 5 chapters. Now in trailer 1 we see Jason and Lucia robbing a store, and in trailer 2 we see Jason robbing a store, and Gameroll has announced a leak that there is about 700 of these stores. He didn't say if these were like gas stations and clothing stores and maybe even animal stores or whatever. He just says there's 700 plus stores in Grand Theft Auto 6. That's a lot, especially if you're able to rob every single one of them. If you want to go 100% and you have to rob all of them, that's going to be crazy. Elevators will be back in Grand Theft Auto 6. What a surprise. Let's just move on to the next one. And another thing that for some reason Gameroll found enough of a big deal to put in these leaks is that there are male strippers in the game. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Who cares? Yeah, sure. Probably in different strip clubs or whatever, like gay strip clubs or something. I don't even know, but yeah, that's that. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'm trying to get to 7 trillion bazillion gazillion subscribers. Do it for the golden duck. Let's get back to the video. There's also some features that have been removed since the leak, according to Gameroll, and I'm a little bit disappointed in this. I'm not sure if this is actually true or not, but yeah, we're just gonna have to take this with a grain of salt, which is that dual wielding, which was in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and in Red Dead Redemption, is not in Grand Theft Auto 6, even though the leaks showed that Rockstar was working on those mechanics. So I don't know what happened there. I think that it's still gonna be in the game personally. I mean, why would you remove such a thing? Especially if this is gonna be the GTA of all GTAs. Pretty disappointing if that is actually true. And another thing is we saw in the leaks that Jason could go prone, and according to Gameroll that feature of going prone has also been removed, which again, why would you remove that feature? It would be super fun to have that. And if I'm gonna be honest, I saw in trailer 2 times where a character went prone. Both of these times it started with a character jumping off a bike onto another vehicle. For example, Lucia here jumping off the bike to get into that cargo with the car, and then you have Jason jumping off his bike to kind of fall and go prone on the back of the car that Lucia is driving. So there is some proning in there in terms of the animation, but that's kind of a different mechanic, right? It's more of an animation than a mechanic. So yeah, maybe that was what they were testing back in the leaks, and the prone feature overall has been removed, but it kind of looked like you could actually like prone and walk and do all that type of stuff. Another very exciting thing that we all kind of thought was going to be in Grand Theft Auto 6 is that malls are going to be functional, and this means that players probably have a lot more to do than just sticking to the usual corner shops or a few big locations, and a lot of these malls probably probably have a lot of stores. So if there's 3 malls, you probably already have like 50 stores in those malls all together, right? So this game is going to be very, very big. And something else that Gameroll says has been removed, which I think is very disappointing, is the dynamic and automatic covering system. You still have to touch a button just like every other Rockstar game that is very recent, where you have to touch a button to go in cover mode and you touch the button again to go out of cover. I think it should be dynamic cover, but yeah, that's that. Another thing that Gameroll says, which to me is a very big disappointment, is that house burglaries or house robberies are not in the game. So yeah, apparently that's been removed, or it's just non-existent at all. Very disappointing to me. I would love to have this feature. And the last one that not really has been removed because there's no confirmation of it actually existing, but the panhandle in the Grand Theft Auto 6 mapping project seems to be non-existent in the game. There's no panhandle, which is kind of the top thing sticking out of the map right there. Doesn't exist in the actual map. So that's going to raise the question if the mapping community is actually going to decide to remove that panhandle from their project. What I know is that it used to not even be in the mapping project in the first place, and then when it got added, it was a very controversial talking point of people disagreeing whether it should be in the game or not. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm very curious to see your opinion on these quote-unquote leaks. Of course, all these details are still unconfirmed. It's best to take them with a grain of salt. Things can always change before launch, even if the source has a good track record, which Gameroll does have. So what can we learn from all of this? What is my personal opinion? Well, I gave my opinion about a couple of them individually, but overall, I don't really know what to think of all this, man. I don't know if this is actually true, if they're actually not gonna have dual wielding, because that seems like the most fun mechanic of them all. That would be a no-brainer to put in Grand Theft Auto 6, and it would be very kind of almost stupid not to, right? I love the 700 enterable stores, which is super fun. Functional malls as well. And I'm just very curious about that gameplay trailer, man. It cannot come fast enough. And a lot of people want to see what the game is actually like when you're playing it. Even though trailer 2 was apparently half gameplay, half cutscene, we want to see like the HUD, we want to see everything. And one of the things that I'm kind of afraid of now is that this is going to be the same GTA that we've always seen, but just bigger. I want some new mechanics, I want some new stuff. And what this leak kind of does for me is that it shows that they haven't really changed too much in terms of the mechanics. And I'm gonna be honest, I hope Gameroll is wrong in the things that I am disappointed about being removed. You know what I mean? We'll see when the game comes out. Hopefully we'll have the most fun game that there is. I still love that GTA 6 is even a thing, and man, I'm super excited still. Hopefully you guys are too. Thank you to SadLife420 for gifting all these memberships on screen. And by the way, I have the music that I use in my videos coming out next week. I will inform you when that comes out and put a link in every description of every video. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Bye.